You talk about being on a mission there. You talked about being on a mission there. Is the mission to regain the crowns? Is the mission to be the undisputed? Is that the mission? Or is it just a mission to get through camp, get into the fight, get into the next one?
No, my mission's never been undisputed. Never been my mission. It's been other people's missions. My mission's to smash this face right in on Saturday night.
Tyson Fury is determined to destroy Alexander Usyk in their rematch, promising an aggressive and relentless fight to secure his victory.
There's no chance he can beat me. None. I ain't got a cut this time, I'm nursing. I ain't got
So
a
that
ton of
means you could
problems at
spar.
home.
That means you could spar.
Yeah, I can do everything now. I've never been as confident in my life of smashing a face in I've ever been doing him on Saturday.
Tyson Fury has made it clear that he has only one goal in mind for the upcoming rematch with Alexander Usyk, to destroy him. Despite suffering a split decision loss in their first encounter earlier this year, Fury insists that he's more confident than ever ahead of their second showdown. He claims that this time, he's coming into the fight fully prepared, without any lingering injuries or distractions. While some may question his focus, Fury is adamant that there's no way Usyk can defeat him in this rematch.
I know
Everyone knows what's going to happen.
They've seen you over the camp build into where you are now in front of me now in fight week.
Fight week. Everyone knows what's going to happen.
Now, is that anger or is it spite or is it just
It's
the
not
fact
nothing.
you just want to do
It's
it?
just the fact that I'm better than him and I'm going to prove it on Saturday night.
For Fury, the mission isn't about becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion, a title that has eluded him and has been the goal of others. Instead, it's about getting revenge on Usyk and settling the score once and for all. Fury has made his intentions abundantly clear, emphasizing that his sole objective is to inflict as much damage as possible on his Ukrainian opponent. While others may view the fight as a quest for the title, Fury insists that for him, it's purely personal.
Even at 36, when people think he's he will rise like a phoenix from the ashes. I'm going to destroy this on Saturday night. You watch. Watch me go to work on Saturday night on him. You watch it. I beat him last time on a half-mass. Nursing a massive cut.
Despite his outspoken confidence, Fury understands the significance of the rematch. He knows that Usyk is a dangerous and skilled fighter, and that this won't be an easy task. Fury doesn't mince words when describing what he expects to do inside the ring. He's promised to make Usyk regret ever stepping into the ring with him. Fury has stated that he's more focused and ready than ever, confident that his preparation will lead to a dominant victory. He's had a long career of success and resilience, and this rematch is simply the next step for him to prove that he's still at the top of his game.
So this is revenge, or is it just putting things right?
No, it's not any of that. It's just me smashing his face in on Saturday night. That's it. That's all it will ever be. Nothing more, nothing less than a good old-fashioned hiding.
One thing that Fury has made clear is that he won't be walking away from the sport no matter the result of this fight. Even if the rematch doesn't go his way, he's adamant that he will continue to fight for years to come. Fury sees this bout as another chapter in his career, not as the end of it. He believes that all great fighters have trilogies, and he's hoping that this fight with Usyk will lead to a third encounter between the two. Despite his promises to destroy Usyk, Fury is still open to the idea of a trilogy if the rematch turns out to be as competitive as many anticipate.
Could you walk away after this? Could you walk away after this?
Definitely not. No way. Not in a million years will I walk away after this.
You're not finished.
No way. But what I'm going to do to him is going to be that bad of a beating on Saturday night, he ain't going to want to have a trilogy. And I'm hoping there's going to be a trilogy, because all great dance partners have trilogies. It's facts. But what I'm going to do to him, he won't want a trilogy.
On the other hand, Robert Garcia has weighed in on the upcoming rematch, offering a more balanced perspective. Garcia believes that the first fight between Fury and Usyk was incredibly close and competitive, and he sees the rematch as being just as tough, if not tougher, for both fighters. He considers the fight a 50-50 matchup, suggesting that Fury's chances of winning depend heavily on whether he comes into the fight with a new strategy or improved preparation. While Garcia acknowledges that Usyk won the first fight, he notes that it wasn't an easy victory for the Ukrainian, and that Fury certainly has the ability to level the score with the right approach.
The rematch is going to be as good or even better. I think it's a 50-50 fight. You know, even though Usyk pulled it off, it was still very tough for him. He had, it was an easy fight. So I think the rematch, if Tyson comes out maybe a little bit more better prepared, or maybe a little different game plan, he might even pull it off.
Eddie Hearn also shared his thoughts on the rematch. Hearn, who has a long history in the sport and a personal relationship with Fury, expressed his support for the British heavyweight. Hearn is rooting for Fury, partly due to their shared British roots and his admiration for Fury's personality and skill. He would love to see Fury win, as it would set up a highly anticipated fight with Anthony Joshua, another heavyweight star. However, Hearn acknowledged the immense skill of Usyk and admitted that while he'd like to see Fury succeed, it's difficult to confidently back him against someone as talented as Usyk.
Two, I actually like him. I hung around with them guys a little bit. Spencer, fond of him and the team, and I'd love to see him do it. And of course, if he beats him, the Tyson Fury fight becomes huge with AJ. I just can't see how anyone could confidently pick Fury to win this fight. Can he do it? Yes, but you can't back against Usyk.
Mark Tibbs offered some tactical advice for Fury ahead of the rematch. Tibbs believes that Fury's best chance of victory lies in controlling the center of the ring, keeping Usyk on the defensive, and focusing on landing his straight right hand followed by an uppercut. Tibbs pointed out that Fury had success in their first fight, but allowed Usyk to get back into the contest at times, particularly with a left cross. He emphasized the importance of staying aggressive, sticking to the game plan, and securing a win in the final round, which could be crucial in what is expected to be a highly competitive contest.
Well, Fury's got to get Usyk, really, he's got to hold the centre with him and get him on his back foot as much as he can, and he's got to get the straight right hand off before the right uppercut. In my opinion, straight one beats the uppercuts, and he's got to front hand him and back him up, lift him up, bomb. He was doing really well, Tyson, and let him back in, and Usyk got his left cross off, being a southpaw. He got it off, and I was like, oh, don't, no, it could go downhill. And it did a little bit for Fury. He needed to win that last round, big, yeah, to get a draw or the win.
Jay Opetaia shared his confidence in the British heavyweight's preparation for the rematch. Opetaia believes that Fury will come into the fight in top form, hungrier and more focused than ever before. He attributes this renewed hunger to the fact that Fury knows he can no longer rely solely on his natural ability. With his experience and understanding of Usyk's style, Fury is expected to put in the hard work necessary to defeat his opponent.
Yeah, that's a good fight. I'm excited for this second fight. I feel like they both sort of know each other now, and I feel like Fury, he's got the tools to beat, Usyk, but he just needs to apply them.
However, not everyone shares the same optimism for Fury. Malik Scott predicts that Usyk's speed, style, and determination will ultimately prove too much for Fury to handle. Scott, who has closely observed both fighters, praised Usyk's ability to land punches from unexpected angles. He pointed out that in their first fight, it was a punch from a blind side that hurt Fury to exploit his opponent's weaknesses.
And I think the punches that hurt you the most is the punches you can't see. And most of the time, Usyk is hurting guys. It's with the shot they don't see. You don't have to be a hard puncher to get guys in trouble. Usyk has a good understanding of that, because the shot that he actually hurt Tyson with, it was a blindsided shot. It was blindsided, the ones that come from around here. So it's just one of those things. It was good.
Tony Bellew also believes that Usyk will win the rematch. Bellew, who was impressed by Usyk's performance in the first fight, expects the Ukrainian to approach the rematch with even more confidence. He sees Fury being forced to adopt a more aggressive approach, which could play into Usyk's hands. Bellew predicts that Usyk will win by unanimous decision, as he believes the Ukrainian's skills will shine through once again.
But if I'm being totally honest, do I think he'll win? No, I think he'll lose again. And this time, I think he'll lose really, really clearly, because Usyk this time will go on the back foot. And that is the worst nightmare for for Tyson Fury, because that's one that he can't control. You've got to understand, Cougs, he pressed the whole fight. He walked the 6'9", 20-stone man down. He walked him down and bullied him. Imagine what he does when he fights to his attributes and fights to his best. because his best is fighting on the back foot. Anyone who studies and knows Usyk the way I know him and I studied him is, you'll know that you've got to bring him to you, and that's the way to beat him. But you've got to counter him and feint, and you've got to be able to sharp shoot with him, you've got to be able to box with him, you've got to be able to offset him, but you've got to be able to continuously do all these things round after round. I couldn't, because guess what? I got tired. I was fucked after 6 rounds or 7 rounds of doing it.
Derek Chisora, a former opponent of both Fury and Usyk, also predicts another victory for Usyk. Chisora believes that Fury will come into the fight with a different approach, but he has faith in Usyk's mental toughness and skill set. While he acknowledges that both fighters are likely to adjust their strategies, Chisora believes that Usyk's resilience will see him through once again.
That can't still the same, bro. It's gonna be a good fight. We're gonna see a little bit of difference. But you have to understand, Tyson's gonna come a little bit of difference, and Usyk's gonna come different, a little bit of difference. You understand? So it's gonna be a great fight, whatever happens. But as the scales hit right now, I think my money is still edging on Usyk.
On the other hand, Darren Till is backing Fury to win the rematch, although he also cautioned against counting out Usyk. Till described Usyk as a master operator, acknowledging the Ukrainian's remarkable technical ability and boxing IQ. While Till believes Fury will emerge victorious, he made it clear that Usyk's skill set and determination make him a serious threat in the fight. Till also speculated that if Fury wins, it could pave the way for a trilogy fight, adding even more intrigue to the rivalry between the two heavyweights.
But I do think Tyson wins in the rematch. I think he's going to get him in the rematch. I don't know why, and I think that's going to set up for a third fight. So I've got Tyson, but I'm not counting out Usyk. He's a master operator. It's fucking so good. They're going to be an interesting fight. Can't wait for it, to be honest with you.
Vidal Riley also believes that Fury's track record in rematches gives him a strong chance in this second bout. Riley pointed to Fury's ability to learn from his mistakes and adapt his strategy, citing his trilogy with Deontay Wilder as evidence of his resilience and ability to evolve after setbacks. Riley suggested that Fury's experience and adaptability could be key factors in the rematch, allowing him to make the necessary adjustments and ultimately secure a victory.
Fury, man. Fury. Like, I'm going with Fury. He knows how to win rematches. The track record speaks for itself. I'm going with Fury.
Simon Jordan focused on the mental aspect of the fight rather than the physical. Jordan believes that Fury's mental state will be crucial in determining the outcome of the rematch. If Fury is focused and in the right frame of mind, Jordan believes he has the tools to defeat Usyk. However, if Fury allows complacency or distractions to affect his performance, Usyk could once again come out on top.
I think it'll be a lot like the way you described it. I think they'll be cautious. I think we might have to yawn our way through the first couple of rounds. But I think Fury will lean on him. I think he'll slow him down with his weight. I think he'll pop him away around his midriff. And I think he'll knock him out in about 8 or 9.
Oh, you do? You think he'll knock him out? Interesting.
I think that Fury will want to knock him out. I think Fury will see it as a badge of honour to knock him out. And I think he'll work him out quickly, or try and work him out quickly. He worked out Wilder in the second fight. In the first fight, he got himself back into a condition where he could fight at that level. In the second fight, he decided to meet him in the middle of the ring. People say that's because that he potentially couldn't move around anymore. I'd say it's because he wasn't fearful of Wilder and he thought he could deal with him.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think Fury will work out Usyk in this fight. And I think he'll knock him out.
Ricky Hatton offered his thoughts on how Fury should approach the rematch. Hatton emphasized the importance of Fury using his size, reach, and weight to his advantage. In their first fight, Hatton noted Fury didn't fully utilize his physical attributes, which allowed Usyk to control the pace. Hatton believes that in the rematch, Fury needs to be more aggressive and use his powerful punches to push Usyk into uncomfortable positions. He also stressed the importance of Fury having strong guidance from his corner, as the right advice at crucial moments could make all the difference.
I think impose his height, impose his reach, impose his weight difference. I mean, all the advantages he has, he didn't use last time. When he allowed, the smaller man, and as it's a good little man, isn't he? He's a good small man. But I think he allowed the smaller man to bully him around the ring. I'd be a bit inclined to hold my feet, hit him hard, use the weight advantage, use the reach advantage, use the height advantage that I don't think he used last time, and just have one voice in the corner.
Lennox Lewis weighed in with his perspective on how he would approach a fight with Usyk. Lewis suggested that the key to defeating Usyk would be targeting his vulnerability to uppercuts. However, he also acknowledged that Usyk's elusive movement and skill would make it difficult to land such a decisive punch. According to Lewis, Usyk's ability to move and adjust would make it unlikely that a single shot could end the fight.
Oh, well, if you fought Usyk, what would you do? I would say, well, you know, I'd throw a good uppercut because he's susceptible to uppercuts, and I throw a mean uppercut. And that's how I would definitely fight the fight.
Do you think he's vulnerable to the body?
Well, anybody that's vulnerable to the body, and everybody's saying it, usually goes back and works on the body and says, like, I make them think I'm vulnerable to the body. That's what I want them to think. Now my body's tough, and if they go to the body, I'm going to hit them at the same time.
Liam Smith took a more cautious approach when discussing the rematch. While Smith picked Fury as the potential winner, he admitted that he was uncertain about when the fight might end. Smith acknowledged that the outcome could depend on how both fighters look in the week leading up to the fight, suggesting that he would need more time to assess the fighter's form before making a final prediction.
No, I picked Fury first time round. I really don't know, honestly. And my opinion might change fight week when I see a little bit more of them. But at this minute in time, no, I can't even. I don't honestly. I've never been like that either. I'm not being an ass kisser sitting on the fence either. I really don't know what pick. I don't be interested to see how much the last fight took out to both of them.
Gareth A. Davies offered an insight into Fury's mindset after their first encounter. Davies revealed that Fury admitted to complacency playing a part in the incident in round 9, where he was hurt by Usyk. Fury acknowledged that he had become too comfortable, which allowed Usyk to land a significant punch. According to Davies, this was a turning point in the fight. Fury's tendency to underestimate his opponents might have been a factor in his loss, but Davies speculates that Fury will be more aggressive and focused in the rematch.
But those were the rounds 5, 6, 7 where Fury dominated, which is, and that's what he was doing in those rounds, was coming forwards, hitting Usyk at range and hurting him. And if you watch the fight back, which I have a couple of times, it was a brutal war in many ways. And you know, the optics in rounds 8 and 9 were against Fury, but it's going to be an almighty tussle again. I don't think Fury can get as comfortable as he did in the ring last time. I think he got too complacent. Yeah. I spoke to him about that when I saw him last time. First defeat in his career, obviously, earlier in the year. And the comeback fight is always massive. In that fight, he'd obviously cut his eye in sparring, and the fight was delayed. It was amazing to see the two men together just over a month ago in London. And I think there's absolute respect for each other after what was a war last time. And this fight is really for who is the number one of this generation. Yeah. And if Fury loses it, Usyk becomes the man.
Fabio Wardley, another fighter who has sparred with both Fury and Usyk, expressed his belief that Usyk will emerge victorious again. Wardley explained that although Fury's preparation for the first fight may have been hampered by a cut, he still believes Usyk's disciplined approach and mental focus will give him the edge.
What do you think happens in this rematch? How do you sort of assess it?
I think it's a lot of the same, to be honest. I do think it's a lot of the same. I think Usyk will go into the fight like any mindset, like he has done with all of his fights, that just narrow focus, just straight on target, on point, not missing a beat, not missing a step.
Wardley predicted that Usyk's consistency and technical ability would be the deciding factors in the rematch.
Maybe Fury will say that kind of maybe his camp wasn't ideal, or he wasn't in the best place or the best shape, or whichever else. Who knows? He hasn't. I'm not saying that because he hasn't come out with any excuses like that since. But maybe in himself he'll think, oh, that camp wasn't great, or I did some things wrong, or because us as fighters, again, we know when you don't do things right in camp. You know when you miss a few sessions, or you've taken it easy on some sessions and things like that. So maybe the loss was what he needed to go right, full 100% back in, and maybe he comes out differently. But if I was to...
However, Dean White is confident that Fury can secure victory in the rematch. He believes that Fury needs to revert to his old style of fighting, where he controlled the pace by boxing on the front foot. White emphasized that Fury needs to push Usyk back and prevent him from dictating the rhythm of the fight. If Fury can do this, White believes he will have the upper hand and could win the fight.
I was going to say, do you think Fury could do enough to turn the tide? Because he did look good in that. Yeah.
I think he can do enough, man. I think he needs to go back to what he was doing, try and box on the front foot and push him back. I think that's his route to win.
Yeah. And when it comes to Fury, is there overall concerns? There was a lot said about the corner and too many voices, and I spoke to Johnny Nelson yesterday and he said, you know, he really needs to sort of clean his team out, clean the house out. Is there issues with that?
Way too many people in that corner, yeah. Way too many.
Sean Porter echoed similar sentiments. Porter believes that Fury's combination of size, skill, and experience gives him an advantage in the rematch. Porter pointed out that Fury's physical attributes, such as his reach and speed, will make it difficult for Usyk to impose his will. If Fury can maintain his focus and avoid the mistakes he made in their first encounter, Porter believes he can claim the unified heavyweight championship.
I actually do expect him to win this rematch. I think he's bigger than Usyk, and that size advantage that he has, he, unlike most fighters, knows how to use that size, that reach, that speed. I think the whole fight will play out the way that the first half played itself out. I think the whole fight's going to go that way. A very focused and determined Fury is a quiet and relentless Fury.
Johnny Fisher acknowledged the challenges both fighters pose in the rematch. While Fisher praised Fury's adaptability and experience in rematches, he also recognized Usyk's resilience and technical ability. Fisher views the fight as a historic event and believes the winner will be rightfully recognized as the best heavyweight in the world.
Great fight. We know the first fight was brilliant. I'm backing Tyson Fury. I think his track record of rematches, I think I've seen a few pictures of him coming in a bit chunkier, a bit heavier, playing to his natural strengths, and he had Usyk going. But we know how good Usyk is. If you beat Usyk, I think he's conquered the world, hasn't he? Because he's beat everyone he needs to beat. I don't know what's happened with the light there. And yeah, just excited to see the fight. May the best man win. The two best on the planet.
Carl Froch is another who believes Usyk will retain his title. Froch pointed to Usyk's relentless pace and work rate, suggesting that these factors would wear down Fury over time. While Froch acknowledged that Fury's size and power could pose a threat, he ultimately predicted that Usyk's fitness and ability to control the pace would lead him to a unanimous decision victory. However, Froch also mentioned that Fury's best chance of victory might come with a late stoppage if he can push the fight to its limits.
It was a bad whooping, won it in round 9. I mean, if that fight would have got stopped in round 9, I think it was held up by the ropes, and then Usyk was lining his chin up, and the ref jumped in to stop it because the ropes kept him up. If that was me, I'd have kept punching. Until the ref grabs me out of the way, I'm not going to stop punching. And Usyk, such a magnanimous man, and he's such an honest, fair man. He sort of stopped, he looked at the ref and stopped.
When he sticks on Usyk 4, 5 and 6 in their first fight, well, their only fight, they've got the rematch before Christmas. He had Usyk in kind of trouble that I've never seen him in before. He had him hurt, hit him with an uppercut, he had him wobbled, but he couldn't maintain it, couldn't sustain it. So that's what he's got to do to beat Usyk. Stick it on him, put the pressure on him. The reason I mentioned Undisputed is because he's on the cover of that, Tyson Fury.
Okay. Oh, nice.
And he actually said, if I get beat by Usyk in the rematch, I'm relinquishing the cover shot. Usyk can then be on the cover.
With so many differing opinions, the rematch between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk is shaping up to be an epic contest, with both fighters bringing unique strengths and strategies to the table. Only time will tell who will emerge victorious, but one thing is certain, the boxing world is eagerly awaiting what promises to be a thrilling encounter.